Welcome to Conversations with Tony Mobley. Greetings to everyone watching. On Conversation with Tony Mobley today, professional international basketball player Matt Mobley joins me for a conversation about his career and all of the things that led up to him being an international basketball player. Today is November 5th, 2025. This is episode 42 of Conversations with Tony Mobley. This conversation uses the TV broadcast software Mimo Live and Zoom. Conversation with Tony Mobley is produced by Clarlock Lopez Waterman. Our current team is Laura Thompson, Zachary Sorensen, Mickey McAture. Thank you, sir. Thank you, team. And also tonight we have a special guest supporting our conversation tonight, JJ. JJ's last name just went out of my head. And that's one of the things about JJ McKenna. I was so focused on pronouncing his daughter's name today because she is my guest for next week that it went completely out of my head. And I'm just being honest. Conversation with Tony Mobley is available at conversationwithtonymobley.com. My interactive chat, there is an interactive chat that is associated with Conversation with Tony Mobley where you are able to ask your questions, and you want to ask Matt questions tonight. This is a rare opportunity. Normally, he is not available during this time. Normally, he's playing somewhere. And so this is a very special occasion. Please don't hesitate to ask the questions that you need to ask. If you have a young athlete that's a part of your family, you want to ask Matt all about these questions. And so we're going to get right to it. And the very first question, before we go to the very first question, I want to be transparent and say, well, Matt is my nephew. And I was really, really excited about getting him on. And as I said, normally he is not available. Normally he's playing somewhere. And so this is a rare opportunity. And we also want to say that if there are some scouts that happen to be watching, he is game ready right now. And so you can give him a call, and he's ready.
For
He
sure.
stays ready.
For sure.
And so thank you again, Matt, for being here with me. And we want to, the very first question is, who is Matt Mobley?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. And honestly, I'm just a regular guy, lived a regular life growing up, and I just was able to be blessed and to be able to just, travel the world and make a living playing the sport that I love. So really nothing really special, just was able to be able to do something special.
Let's talk about your dad.
Yeah.
Um, so, how was he in terms of you growing up, in terms of this basketball thing?
Obviously very supportive. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it this far playing basketball, honestly, because, he always spent the time and effort to put me in like after school programs, all the church leagues growing up, AAU, and then obviously even high school, prep school, and then eventually college. So he was very supportive. Never really like forced me to do anything. It was always up to me, my decisions, and he always supported them. Was always at bringing me to my games, whether they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours away, whatever. He was always there. So he played a major role, and I'm very thankful for him for sure.
And you feel free to talk about your other family members and how they supported you, your sister, your mom, just anything else you want to share.
Yeah, I mean, I had all my family was very supportive, honestly. They were always there, cheering me on every game they could come to. Even when I was in college, so it was a 6 hour drive away. They'd come to a lot of my games. So, I had a very good team around me, being with my family. And, that's played a big part because if it wasn't for them, I definitely would not have been able to make it this far. So I appreciate every single one of them. I love every single one of them, and I know it's going to continue to happen for however long I keep deciding to play.
That's fantastic. We want to thank my brother and sister in law and um, extended family and all of the people that your village that
Mhm.
has supported you, and you have a fantastic village. I know
Appreciate it.
firsthand, and congratulations on all that. So, as I said, I'm really excited to have you here because, like I said, Matt is normally not available, and I was thinking a long time ago. I said, well, maybe he'd be willing to come in from Europe or wherever he's playing, and I just thought that maybe that might be too much. So,
Mhm.
and based on the time frame and depending on where you were and stuff.
Right.
So, we're waiting on the next question. But while we're waiting on the next question, um, and again, I want to say to our audience, please ask your questions. This is a great opportunity, particularly if you have a child who is starting that whole journey of playing, like Matt said, church league or community league or anything that's pre high school. And so, our very next question is please talk about the AAU and the high school experience. What was that like?
Um, it was good. It obviously helped. AAU, I feel like is very important. It's changed a lot throughout the years. I think now it's more kind of like a money grab for a lot of people. But when I was growing up, it was a legit way to, be seen by scouts and even like high school coaches, even middle school coaches. So AAU is very important. Gives you a chance to play all year round. Especially in summers are a big opportunity to get better. So playing all year round is the only way you're going to get better, really. So, so yeah, you played a big part for sure.
I'm just curious. One of the things that I experienced when I was growing up and trying to play basketball was that I would always play with the kids that were bigger and stronger than me. And I was just
Mhm.
wondering if you had that experience as well.
Yeah, I usually always played up until I'd say up until my senior year of high school. I usually always played a grade ahead. So I was young for my age though. I mean, I was young for my grade. So most of the kids are already older than me than it was. So, but playing older kids, bigger, stronger, definitely helped me get better. You just gotta be quicker, stronger, smarter. Um, so playing up it would definitely increase your skill set for sure. Playing better people is always a good thing for you.
Yeah. So, what I'm curious, what is your thought about now how college athletes are able to glean supports, sponsors? That was a little bit after your time, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I wish my parents might have waited to have me, I was so I could, get paid at college. But I think it's a great opportunity for the guys in college now. It's definitely well deserved. Should have happened years ago, but it's crazy to see how college basketball has changed now. You have guys that have played in the NBA G League, so they're professionals, have gotten paid, and now they can actually leave the G League and go to college to play in college, which is it's unheard of. So the whole NIL and everything is changing the landscape of basketball. Um, you're basically a professional in college now because you're getting paid. So um, it's amazing. I'm happy for guys. I know a couple guys in college now, a couple guys that grew up, in Worcester, where I'm from, that are playing in college now, getting paid. So I'm happy to see it, and I think it's well deserved. And it's probably even going to get even more crazy going forward. So that'll be exciting to watch.
And again, YouTube, we want to talk. You definitely want to ask Matt some questions. This is a great opportunity. Let's talk about your journey in college. Let's talk about college. And so
Okay.
you went to two different schools, and can you talk about where you started, where you ended, what was the transition like? Why you made a change, some of those things.
Okay, yeah. So, coming out of prep school, I only had one offer, and that was to the first school I went to, Central Connecticut State University. That's up in New Britain, Connecticut. So that was really my only opportunity to, play Division 1 and get a scholarship. So obviously I decided to go there. First year was a bit of a shock. I was still young. I was 17 to start the year. Um, I was playing against, 23, 24-year olds, so they're obviously bigger, stronger than me. Didn't really play that much because I didn't really prove myself to, get a lot of minutes. Wasn't really doing much in practice. Kind of struggled a little bit with the plays, and stuff like that. So first year, I want to say, I think I only averaged about 5, 6 points maybe, in about 20 minutes. But I was actually made the all freshman team, they call it all rookie team, second team. So it's two teams, the first best five players and the second best five players. So I was considered one of the second best five players in the whole conference. So that gave me a little bit of confidence going into my sophomore season. And my sophomore season, I'd say I definitely had a breakout season. So I played shooting guard. The starting shooting guard, who was a senior, actually ended up, had some off the court issues, so he wasn't able to play. And then I was able to take his spot and start at the shooting guard my sophomore year. So with that, I had more minutes, built more confidence because I was playing in the whole summer, working out every day I could. Anytime I could get in the gym, I'd get in the gym. So sophomore year was amazing. Averaged about 17 and a half, like 17.6 points a game. But unfortunately, we only won about 5 or 6 games that season. So I was a good player on a bad team. Sometimes that could work well for you, sometimes it can't. But
Hmm.
yeah, with that season, that's when I started getting a lot of notoriety, and people started recognizing me, bigger coaches, even on some NBA radar. So I decided to transfer. But back then, transferring was a way bigger deal back then because now you can transfer and play right away. Back when I was playing, if you transferred schools, you'd have to sit out the very next season. You would still go to class like a normal student, go to practice every day like a normal player, but when it comes to the games, I'd have to sit out. So, I talked to all my family, and we decided that that was probably gonna be the best decision for me. So I transferred, heard from a bunch of schools, even some big time schools, BC, Kansas State, Providence. UNLV, Miami. I heard from a whole bunch of guys, but we eventually narrowed it down to St. Bonaventure. I remember going, taking an official visit with my dad, and we actually committed. I think we were there for either 2 or 3 days. I want to say 2 days, and we actually committed on my last day there, right before we drove back home. So I'm sure he remembers that. But yeah, I decided to go to St. Bonaventure, and that was probably the best decision for me. I did the sit out year, and the sit out year was very crucial because although I wasn't playing, I was able to learn the new system under the new coach because both coaches were drastically different. My new coach, Mark Schmidt, shout out to Mark Schmidt, he was definitely a lot more X's and O's guys. He was very detailed. It was a lot of having to do a lot of the little things mattered to him. So being able to have that sit out year and learn from him and have no pressure of playing in the games, I was able to learn the system. I was lifting, I was getting stronger, better, faster, doing all my skill work. And then my junior year, when I was able to play, I had a very good year, averaged 18 points. Senior year comes, averaged another 18 points, about 18 and a half. And then that's when, NBA and overseas really started to become a thing. So, yeah, and then, my senior year, we ended up making the NCAA tournament. I think we finished 20, we either won 24 or 26 games. I want to say 26 games. And we made the NCAA tournament. They put us in the first four. We beat UCLA first round. It was crazy. Everyone's going crazy. And then,
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we played in Dayton too, which is our conference opponent. So it was fun. Some of the Dayton fans, most of the Dayton fans were rooting for us. So yeah, it was a great time. And then we had to fly down to Dallas, I believe, and then we played Florida, who had a lot of big guys, and they just, were better than us. So, but it was a great year. College was a great experience, and I'm definitely thankful for the opportunities that I had in college.
Okay. Well, we have a question from Zachary Sorensen from Warwick, Queensland, Australia. His question is, does churches really have teams?
Um, when I say church league, it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was an actual church, but they just had like a separate league where a bunch of kids from all ages could, you just pay to play. So it'd be like seven, eight teams, maybe all through different ages, and we just play each other back and forth for I don't know, a couple months, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. There are some churches that do have leagues. Um, there was sort of an urgency during where your dad and I grew up in Newark, New Jersey.
Hmm.
One of the later mayors created a night league, and it was designed to keep kids off the street. And also here in metro, I'm in metropolitan Atlanta.
Hmm.
There used to be, when the new mayor was elected, Andre Dickens. He created a night league to help kids not be doing things at night that they shouldn't be doing. And so, but there are some churches that actually have full fledged leagues, Zachary, and that's depending depending on where you're located in the United States. There are some places where that is extremely important, and it's if they don't have a rec league, that some of the kids are able to play there. And so what was your first international team that you played for?
First team, Spirou Charleroi, which was in Charleroi, Belgium. Yeah, very, very small. I don't even think you could call it city. It's more like a village, and very small, not many people, but they loved basketball, and most of our home games were sold out. I remember my family got to come down and visit me. My dad came down twice with Anna, and then well, at one point it was everybody. My mom, all my sisters, stepdad, my sister's boyfriend, a couple of my sister's friends, my dad, everybody all came down for like a week and a half, and it was an amazing time. It was fun to be able to, spend time together in Europe.
Yeah, I think your aunt Van was there too, I
Oh, yeah, yep, Auntie
believe.
Graham was there too. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that was there were great pictures. A lot of
Mhm.
excitement about that experience.
Mhm.
We have a question from Kenneth Warwood. Um, what was your most difficult hurdle when choosing your profession?
Um, I'd probably say most difficult hurdle would be, not making the NBA, honestly, because, growing up, it's really NBA or nothing. Obviously, being American, like that's anybody who plays basketball wants to play in the NBA. So, having to come to the realization that I probably wasn't going to go to the NBA and then have to go overseas, foreign countries. I never left America before, going to Belgium. So, not knowing what it was going to be like, not really having anybody who's been in those shoes before to help me out, to tell me, things to look out for. So, yeah, I'd probably say just accepting the fact that I'd have to leave my country to be able to make a living.
And that's part of the reason why we wanted you to be a part of this conversation, so that if somebody's listening, they could maybe get some pearls of wisdom from you. And again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share this conversation with me. And
Sure.
again, parents, family members, if you have a young child, be it male or female, that is wanting to develop and be professional, This is a great opportunity to ask someone who has been through the rigors of that whole process. So you might want to take advantage of this time and ask your questions. Um, can you talk a little bit about what the NBA trials were like? What that whole process was for those people who are listening?
Yeah, so after my senior year at St. Bonaventure, I had about eight or nine NBA workouts. So they would fly you out from wherever you were at the time and pick you up at the airport. You probably each workout was probably like 2 or 3 nights long. Um, so yeah, you just go and do what I've been doing my whole life, but instead of just being in front of a bunch of scouts and NBA teams. So, you shoot, dribble, sometimes you play one-on-one, two-on-two. They want to see how you interact with other teammates. Um, there would be interviews before and after. Um, they would ask, and the funny thing is, they already knew the answers to all the questions they would ask, and a lot of times they would ask just to see if you're gonna lie or not. Yeah, it was crazy. Like they already knew your whole background, they knew everything about you, and they just wanted to see, how you would react. So, yeah, I had about, like I said, 8 or 9 workouts. The Utah Jazz ended up being my best workout, and because of that, I was able to play summer league with them. So yeah, I went down to Vegas for about 2 weeks, played. I didn't play in every game because we had a lot of guys on the team. There's about 20 guys on the team, which is crazy. But um, yeah, I played in a couple of games. We didn't do that well as a team, but because of that, there was a bunch of European opportunities. And after that, that's when I decided to, start playing professionally in Belgium.
All right, so let's talk about these different countries that you played
Mhm.
in. How many were there?
I've played in 10 different countries. In that time, I visited about another 10. So overall, I've touched over 20 countries. And yeah, so I'd probably say my favorite, I could say, was Spain. I played in Spain my fourth year out. I was in a city called Zaragoza. It was very close to Barcelona. That was definitely my favorite place I've been so far. Amazing food, amazing weather. Everybody spoke English. Um, and the basketball was very good. That's one of the best. That is the best league in Europe. So that also played a big factor. Yeah, so I'd probably say my top three countries: Spain, number one, Turkey. Turkey's probably second, and third, I'd probably say Germany. Germany was cool. Germany was cool for sure.
And when you played at these different countries, sometimes you played on more than one team. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's been a couple seasons where I actually had to, switch teams halfway through. It's very common in basketball. There's actually a period during the holidays around, Thanksgiving and Christmas. They call it the transfer period, where, teams who are not doing well decide to, cut players and sign new players to, help the team. Sometimes teams sign a guy, they expect him to, average 15, 16 points. He's only averaging 4 or 5. They'll cut him, sign someone else to replace him in hopes that, that helps their team out. So, there's been a couple times where I played on multiple teams in one season. I remember my second year out, I actually played on 3 different teams in 3 different countries. I started,
Wow.
yeah, I started in France, was there for a couple months, didn't really like the situation, left to go to Turkey. I actually loved it out there, except for the fact that they weren't paying me. I was owed about 2.5 months of, payments that they didn't give me. So I decided to leave there, go to Germany, and then COVID happened. So was in Germany for literally maybe 2 weeks, and then I had to come back home for COVID. So yeah, there's been a few times where I've been on, multiple countries in one season.
Okay, we're gonna share for those people who are watching, and we have a question from Kenneth Warwood. in just a second, but I wanted to play one of I have I've queued up a couple of highlights, and I want to play some of them for those who might be watching on YouTube. And this is available. I've got the sound ready, and let's play this.
Kanta yan ni Colin Bloodstone. One of
Gawin
my
mo na.
favorite
Gawin
artists.
mo na.
Miles away, you're so many miles away from me.
Oh, tama na.
Okay,
Tama
tama
na. Baka naman, baka saan mo dalhin yan eh. Shoe fires, it won't work. Liu tries to put a hand on it. Mobley. Wow.
Here's
long
another
distance.
attempt. Oh, what a
may
shot.
Tira, may tira.
Well, and they feel that TNT is not showing any kind of defensive intensity from the perimeter.
In the meantime, here's Soyud. Long pass, Mobley fires. Ooh.
Oh, what a shot. This guy's a shooter.
Kahit walang balance sa ilalim. No
He's
problem.
a shooter, yeah.
I'm going to pause
And
it
he said
there.
It's really all about that hard impact that he took on the left side.
So you're getting ready to pull up again and and launch a long one. Steph Curry like. I got really tickled every time I heard I played this and I heard the guy say, and he's a shooter. And so I really enjoyed that. So we're going to go to the Kenneth Warwood's question. He's from California. What is the impact on your family life when you're playing in international leagues?
It's definitely affected. The time difference obviously plays a major part. Most places in Europe are 6, 7 hours away. Asia was about 8, 9 hours away. So, yeah, you don't really get to talk to your family as much as you want to. I'm away for every holiday almost, all the big ones at least, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So you're not able to be with your family during times like that is hard and difficult to deal with. But you still can manage it. You still can talk to them at times when you need to. There's still usually, depending on the country, there's still links that you could tap in and watch the games live. So there's ways to still talk to your family and all that, but it's definitely affected in not being able to physically be with them, obviously, as much as I would want to.
We have another question. Please talk about navigating culture and language in another country. What is that like? Is there some places that were better than others in terms of navigating culture and language?
Yeah, I would say honestly, all the major cities in Europe, like all the big cities, Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, Athens, Milan, everybody speaks English there. Yeah, Paris, everybody speaks English there. So that's not really a problem. The problem is when you get to the smaller cities or even villages, where obviously English is obviously not the first language. So it's a struggle. There's a lot of times where I'd have to have my phone out, do Google Translate, ask them questions, and then they're able to respond. But luckily, on most of my teams, all the players speak good enough English enough to where we can understand each other. But most coaches spoke English, some didn't. Some would need translators, to go back and forth. So at times, especially during the games, that can be a little difficult because I literally have no idea what you're saying. So, yeah, but it's not bad. You're gonna find a way to make it happen because you don't really have a choice. So, yeah, there's ways around it though, for sure.
And we have a question from my guest for next week, and I wasn't prepared to pronounce her name right now. Maybe you can help me out with it. Zanya Nikyakova from San Rafael, California. And her question is, were there other sports that interest you that would have been options to playing basketball? Maybe gymnastics? I don't think gymnastics would have worked for him, Zanya, because he's about 6'3", maybe 6'4", and that probably would not have worked for him in gymnastics, but maybe volleyball or something like that. But his dad was a track star, so I don't know. Maybe that might have been an option. We have a question from YouTube from your Uncle Carl. Which country would you not go back to?
Um, Venezuela, for sure. I would not go back. Um, Let me see. Probably want to go back to Belgium. It's a great country, just not for me. Um, Venezuela, Belgium. Other than that, I'd go back to everywhere else. Everywhere else I liked. And I love to travel, and try new things and new experiences. So there aren't many countries that I won't go to, but Venezuela and Belgium would definitely be two of those for sure.
Okay, we want to thank Carl for that. We have a question from JJ McKenna, our special technician for tonight. Are you taller than your parents?
Yes, I am. My dad's 6'1", my mom's 5'11", I'm 6'3", 6'4" on a good day.
Thank you, JJ, for that question. Um, how do you select an agent?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, Honestly, for me, I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but for me personally, the agents always would come to me. Like it started my junior year in college. And, after every game, I get a DM here, or I get a phone call here, or someone would ask my coach to send him my number so we can talk. So, um, it's kind of just like a feel thing. Honestly, I think I'm on like my seventh or eighth agent now. So, picking agents clearly isn't a strength of mine, but they always come to you. They all kind of have the same things to say. So it's kind of hard to navigate who's telling the truth and who's not. But yeah, it's all a process. Like I said, nobody really told me how to do it, or what. I didn't really know what to expect. So I'm still learning it. And yeah, the good thing about that is you work with the agent, not for the agent. So if something happens you don't like, um, you can find a new one that would do whatever it is that you need. So, yeah, they just come to you and you just go with your gut, I guess.
What is your advice for someone who might be looking for a new agent? Do you have any advice for them in terms of things that they need to stay away from?
Um, Honestly, if you have questions about an agent, you could ask other teammates you might have had, or other people who's either worked with that agent or is currently working with that agent. Usually the players themselves are the best indicator of whether an agent's good or not. If I talk to three players and two of them say they liked the agent and one didn't, I'm probably just gonna go with the two who liked them and hope that and think that he's a good guy. So, um, yeah, like I said, it's all just a feel thing. You don't really know until you're working with them, so it's hard to say beforehand. But there are some agents who have good reputations. Bigger agencies are usually sometimes better because they have more pull, more leverage, more popularity. So a lot of times the big agencies do get the better jobs. So yeah, that's basically it.
We have another question from JJ McKenna. Um, who has been your best advocate cheerleader in your career?
Everybody in my family. For sure. I can't really think of one more than the other, so I just say my entire family for sure.
Okay. Um, I think we're gonna try another clip, if that's okay with you.
Hmm.
Or maybe we'll play this one. That was already. I think you were getting ready to hit another one, so let's go back to that one. And
side of his ribs. The reason why we kept seeing him crouch down is that is a position of comfort.
Despite the absence of key personnel here today. Mobley fires. He likes it from long distance.
What a shot!
That's fine.
This guy's a shooter. Wow, this guy's the rifleman. Miles Powell is putting on a show. He's not just taking the shots from the outside. He's doing, and look at this guy! Talk about putting up a show. Even Coach Brian Gurgen.
Sa harap ni coach, ano?
Okay, that was very cool.
Yeah.
What team was that? Which one of your teams?
That was my first game in the Philippines.
First game in the Philippines. What was the Philippines like?
I loved it. Honestly, the Philippines is one of my favorite places. I probably should have I'll put them over Germany for sure. Yeah, it was amazing. The basketball is widely popular. They love basketball over there. I was able to meet Manny Pacquiao. I visited his house. It's a huge, crazy house.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he's like God out there in the Philippines. So yeah, it was an amazing time. I was only there for like a month, I believe, because I got there towards the end of their season. They play different times in Europe, so I was able to get there towards the end of their season. I was there for like a month, but it was amazing, and I would have 1,000% try to go back. I've been trying to go back, but it hasn't just worked out. So, but yeah, Philippines was amazing. 10 out of 10.
All right. So we have another question from Kenneth Woodward. His question is, what does your daily workout routine look like?
Yeah, so now in the summer, I like to try to keep it lighter than what we do in the season because there's so many games in the season, so many practices, it's it's easier to get hurt. So I like to keep it light in the summer. I'll start off by, going to the gym, stretch for about 10, 15 minutes, use my massage gun for another 5 to 10 minutes. Start with some ball handling, stationary and mobile. Do that for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I get into shooting. I start real close to the rim, it's called form shooting. Do that just to get the rhythm right. 5 spots around, and then get into one dribble pull-ups. So I'd say overall stretch for about 10, 15 minutes, ball handling from about another 10, 15 minutes, shooting for about 45 to an hour. And then on the days I feel like lifting, I'll do a very light lift, very light, 10, 15 minutes and you're out.
And I just want to add that he is working out continuously right now, and he is ready to go. If anybody's interested, he's ready to go. JJ is back with another question. What expenses do you have to worry about when playing in international leagues? Does the team take care of most of your costs?
Yes, they do. And that's another reason why it's such an amazing opportunity. Every team I've been on has paid for my house or apartment, the place I'm staying in, and my car. So there have been a couple teams where I don't have a car, which is still okay. Like in Turkey, we didn't have a car. Philippines, I didn't have a car, but I had a personal driver who would pick me up, take me to practice, or if I need to go to the grocery store, pick me up and bring me there. Taiwan, I didn't have a car, but the team paid for our travel. So they'd reimburse us for all the Ubers, taxis, or whatever, however we were able to get to the gym. So, yeah, I don't really have to worry about much expenses when I'm out there, just food, gas if I have a car, and man, that's about it.
Wow. So we're gonna play another clip right quick.
All right.
JJ's back with another question. Are there ever any security concerns when you are abroad?
Not really, because as long as you're just there and doing what you're supposed to do, you're not really in risk of anything, honestly. Yeah, I never really worried. I When I was going to Turkey, this is back in 2020, they were like having a war with Syria at the time. So I was a little worried about that. Wasn't really sure what to expect. But once I got out there, felt completely safe. I lived in like a skyrise building where there's 24/7 security. Nobody was allowed up into the room without ID. It's kind of like being in a upscale hotel or something. So wasn't really worried. Anywhere I go, I feel completely safe, because I'm not going to be out there doing wild stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. Um, Uncle Carl Mobley is back. Do you? He's. I'm saying Uncle Carl because that's my brother.
Yeah,
Carl Mobley is saying, "Do you have a favorite NBA player you would like to play against?"
I would like to play against, um, LeBron. Playing against LeBron would be cool. Steph Curry would be cool. KD. A lot of the guys, all the guys that I grew up on. It'd be cool to play against them for sure.
Anybody you want to play with?
Uh, yeah, probably those same guys. Um, who else? Yeah, Dame Lillard, Giannis. Um, yeah, Luca. Oh yeah, guys like that.
Okay, we have a question from Anna Mobley,
Oh Lord.
and her question is, "Who is better player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Who?
And could you beat either of them?"
Um, I could beat Michael Jordan right now. Right now, I could beat him. Back then, no shot. But the better player, this might ruffle some feathers, but the better player is LeBron James. We have never seen anything like him. He is 6'8", 250, moving like a point guard. He's the best scorer of all time. He's got what, four championships now, going for a fifth. He's just the best. We haven't seen anything like him ever, and we probably never will. So he is the best by far. Michael Jordan is a close second.
And I'm going to agree with you.
Really?
I am a LeBron James fan, and I
Uh,
have been with him even in the Cleveland days, Miami, LA, wherever he's been. I've been a faithful fan and continue to be one.
okay,
So,
okay. That's
so
surprising because usually the older generation is always saying Michael Jordan. Usually.
I I I think I'm just going to say that part of my reasoning for it is that Michael Jordan didn't win until Scotty got there. In my opinion, it was when he was able to connect with Scotty
Mm,
that that's when he started winning.
right.
So I don't believe. I think LeBron has had some great players to play with, but he hasn't had a caliber player like Scottie Pippen to play with, and at least not consistently. And
Right.
so that's my argument. So thank you, Anna Mobley,
Mm.
and we're gonna play. I'm not what's going on. My videos are not wanting to play for some reason. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're gonna move on. JJ McKenna is back. Are there any female players that you admire?
Caitlin Clark. Um, she's definitely gonna be the best ever, best female player ever for sure. Um, Brianna Stewart's very good. I like her. Um, who else? Maya Moore. Um, Skylar Diggins. Yeah, there's a couple of female players who are really good for sure.
I didn't hear you say the MVP.
Oh yeah, Asia Wilson. She's good too. She's good too, but she's more like a big. She's like the big man. I like to watch guards. I'm more of a guard, so you know, her style of play doesn't really fit me.
Yeah, she does play as a taller player, but I
Yeah,
just think she got a certain amount of swag
yeah,
that really just really I really like the way she plays, the way she
yeah, for sure.
handles her business.
She's definitely the best right now, for sure, and probably the past couple of years. But Caitlin Clark's gonna catch her probably.
Okay. So you didn't say what are your thoughts about Angel Reese? I didn't hear that name.
She's cool, you know. Yeah, she's cool. She's all right. I don't know. I'm not really a fan, but she's good for what she does.
Okay. Um, I'm just curious. What do you think about Dawn Staley? Is she one of the best coaches, male or female?
For sure, 1,000%. One of the best coaches, male or female. It helps when you get a lot of the best players, but that's just a testament to who she is. The best players aren't going to go for a coach who doesn't believe in them or a coach that's not, able to, push all the right buttons. So she's an amazing recruiter. She's a good X's and O's coach. She knows what she's doing. She was a very good player. Yeah, she's definitely one of the goats in coaching for sure in any sport.
Okay. Again, people who are watching on YouTube, this is a great opportunity. This opportunity does not take place very often this time of the year. And we're waiting on our next question. Um, is there any particular place that you would like to go to right now? If somebody just said, we really want you to come to blank. Um, I know that your dad and I have had a lot of conversations, and I'll be transparent, and I don't think he'll mind me sharing this. One of the conversations that he and I have had is that I have said to him, um, not to put a lot of pressure on you because I I don't think we as a family want you to go someplace just to play. And I was just wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Wait, you said you don't want me to go to a place just to play?
Just to take a job to just to have a job playing ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel that. But a place where I really want to go to Australia. I would love to play in Australia. Haven't been there yet. I know a few people who have played there, and I've heard nothing but good reviews out there. So Australia would be cool. Um, I visited Greece, but I haven't played in Greece. So I would like, play in Greece would be cool. Um, those are probably my top two right now. I've been almost everywhere else. Oh, China. China's definitely on my list. Japan. Um, yeah, I'd probably say those four for right now.
Okay. And so Zachary Sorensen in Queensland, Australia. We have an athlete who's ready to come and play some basketball in Australia. He's looking to broaden his horizons and playing basketball in Australia. So spread the word.
Yeah.
And so Kenneth Warwood is back. Um, if you didn't if you didn't have basketball, what other profession would you be interested in?
Um, I didn't have basketball, so nothing basketball related. Being an agent, would that count or no?
I'm sure that's okay.
Okay, yeah, probably being an agent. I'm not into coaching, so definitely not that. But agent, but I went to school for marketing, so maybe I don't know, working for a big company, Nike, Adidas, something like that. Being able to do marketing for them would be cool, or even just like running a big company's social media or something, stuff like that would be cool for me.
I'm just curious. Do you remember when you were in high school and you created that YouTube video of dunking? Do you remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I do remember that actually.
Well,
I do
what
remember
was
that.
your? I'm gonna be transparent and say I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. I
Oh yeah.
really was looking for it. I wanted to show it. And what was your friend's name that was throwing the ball to you when you were doing the dunks?
Brian Foley. Um,
Brian Foley. Have you heard from him lately?
no,
Have y'all stayed in touch?
I don't talk to many people from high school, if any, honestly. I still talk to a lot of guys from college, but high school, I don't really communicate with. But that, yeah, that
Well,
video was crazy. I think that was either my sophomore year in high school, and that was the first time I was able to dunk on camera. I dunked a few times before that, but that was the first time I was able to get it on camera.
yeah, it was amazing. It was good to see. I
Hmm.
enjoyed watching that. Um, so we're getting down to the last couple of questions. The next question is, what's next for Matt Mobley?
What's next is, hopefully another job. I'm talking to my agent now. I could possibly go to Poland, Greece, hopefully. And there's another team in Israel. So I have some options right now, trying to weigh, figure out which ones are best. But yeah, hopefully that's next for me. And hopefully I can keep playing until I'm 37, 38. I've had teammates at 40. So hopefully I got a lot of time left.
I'm waiting for your dad to pop in with a question based on what you just said to see what he says. Thank you so much for that. And we're down to our last question.
Hmm.
And our last question is, you are speaking to the world. What do you want the world to know?
Um, That's a good question. Um, I just want to tell the world, to just chase your dreams, don't be scared to try new things. There's a lot of great opportunities out there that, might require being a little uncomfortable to get, but nine times out of 10 is going to be worth it, and you're going to be very happy you decided to do that. So I would say, just chase your dreams, and you never know what can happen. Yeah, just believe in yourself, and great things can happen.
I'm going to take a liberty. And the liberty is this: tell us the best international food that you have had.
Best international food. I'd probably say pasta in Milan, Italy is very good. Some of the best pasta I've ever had in my life. Um, a lot of people say Milan is known for like their pizza. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've had better pizza in the States for sure. Like, New York or LA definitely has very good pizza. But I'd say the pasta in Italy, any kind of pasta, four cheese, carbonara, whatever you want, the best in Italy for sure.
Thank you, Matt, for being with me today.
Hmm.
Um, this has been a great experience, and I really appreciate you taking time. And I want to thank all of our family members who are here today that are joining us in this conversation. And wow, um, I'm just happy to have you. So thank you again for
Thank
agreeing to be here. You can watch Conversations with Tony Mobley on YouTube or our website, conversationwithtonymobley.com. Conversation with Tony Mobley is produced by Clarlock Lopez Waterman. Our current team is Laura Thompson, Zachary Sorensen, Mickey McAture, and we want to say thank you to the team. We also want to thank JJ McKenna for his support this evening. And we want to thank Mimo Live and Zoom for their continued support, making this broadcast possible. We ask that you stay tuned for new episodes and great conversations on Conversation with Tony Mobley. And when you have time, we ask that you go back and look at the 200 plus conversations on Conversations with Tony Mobley. Um, We want to thank Matt for being a part of our conversation today and for doing the work you do and for being the person who you are.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was real fun, and
I'm
I'm glad I was able
glad.
to make it happen.
Next week, we're going to have exceptional person, Zanya Nikakova, Nikki Ann Kova. And her dad is in my ear. I don't know if you guys could hear it. And so thank you, JJ. And she's going to be with us next week. And she's been on Conversation with Tony Mobley as part of a panel, but we're going to have a one-on-one conversation about her journey. And Matt, if you have a chance, please tune in next week. She's an exceptional young person that's doing a lot of exciting things. Hope you can tune in.
Sure.
Please feel free to support Conversation with Tony Mobley by volunteering or donating to keep Conversations with Tony Mobley running. You can donate on our website, conversationwithTonyMobley.com. Please like, please like, please like, please like. And again, I shared this last week. So we are kind of stuck at around 600 subscribers. And I'm a person of faith. And I just want to say, I would like to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. And so I'm asking each and every one of you who are watching, please share with your family and friends and go and subscribe. And if you just don't want to subscribe, please just like. And we want to thank everyone again for being a part of this conversation today with my nephew, Matt Mobley. We're going to say good night. God bless you. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.